Hey guys, today I'm gonna show you how I make my skin go from this to this. Redness is definitely the main issue with my skin, so most days I just put on some powder foundation to even it out, but today I'm gonna show you my more full coverage routine. As you can see, I've already done my brows. Regardless of your skin type, it's super important to moisturize before applying your foundation to make it look its best. I'm just using this sunscreen I got at Trader Joe's. Then you can just chill for a few minutes and let it sink into your skin. After about 5 minutes, I'm taking some tissue paper to blot any excess oil. Now I'm gonna prime my skin with a sample of the Makeup Forever Smoothing Primer. I'm just stroking it in one direction because you don't want to rub it back and forth like a moisturizer, because that's just gonna make any dry skin and peach fuzz stand up, and then your foundation is gonna cling to it and it's gonna look patchy, and we don't want that. So again, I'm just gonna let it sink in for a minute. The foundation I'll be using today is the NARS All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation in the shade Ceylan. I'm gonna shake it up and put it on the back of my hand. I'm taking a little bit on the pointy end of my beauty blender and start dabbing it on under my eyes, taking it up on my nose and out towards the edge of my face. Be sure to really get into those crevices. Just make some ugly faces if you need to. It helps. Then I'm using the round end of the beauty blender to apply the foundation to my chin and forehead. Please do not forget to bring it down your neck to avoid that foundation line we all encountered at some point. I'm just swirling it on with an Ulta foundation brush. It doesn't have to be neat, just get it on there. You can take whatever's left on your brush onto your ears and just make sure everything matches. I'm letting that set for about 2 minutes before I set it with powder to make sure that it doesn't cake up. For powder, I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Stay Matte and Poreless powder in the shade 120. I'm gonna pat it on with this airbrush powder brush from Ulta. You really want to pat it on since this foundation is really liquidy, so swirling might make it move around. You can touch your face and feel if anything is still wet and needs more powder. Don't forget to powder your neck so the foundation doesn't come off on your clothes, or anyone else's for that matter. Moving on to contouring. I'm using my Shade and Light palette by Kat Von D and the matching brush. I'm gonna use the lightest contour shade on the round end of the brush to carve out my cheekbones. You want to focus it in the back, right in the hollows of your cheek, and then bring it forward and blend it upwards to give yourself a free facelift. For the nose, I'm running a little bit of that contour shade underneath the bottom, and then I'm pinching the brush to make it more narrow and run it along the sides of my nose with very light pressure. Since I have a pretty wide bridge, I like to put the line a bit closer to the center to slim it down. Then I'm taking the lightest shade in the palette to highlight the bridge. And lastly, I'm taking the middle contour shade on the angle end of the brush to define my jawline. The blush I'll be using today is Geek's Spellbound, and I'm patting it onto the apples of my cheeks with the Real Techniques blush brush and blend it back into my contour. For highlight, I am of course using the BECCA Shimmering Skin Perfector in Moonstone. I'm putting it on the tops of my cheekbones with a Real Techniques setting brush. It's really hard to stop once you start putting it on. Maybe they put cocaine in it, because it's addicting. I'm also going to highlight my brow bone, put a little on the tip of my nose, and Cupid's bow. And that is my full coverage foundation routine. I hope you learned something from watching this, and please let me hear what you thought in the comments. Thank you so much for watching and supporting me, it really means a lot to me. See ya!